you're going to have negative emotions. That is a part of life, and that is okay. Knowing how to regulate those emotions, having the tools and the strategies to combat those negative emotions is what's important. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not a clapback with my mouth, but you being disrespectful to me, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Hey, welcome to another episode, Stop Sulkin podcast, where I am your host, Miss Tasha Talks Life. How are you today? How's it going on your corner of the world? I'm happy to be here. A lot of things are happening. I know that we are feeling a lot of the feels. I know that um, the world is doing and things that is empowering, but also things that are scary. And for myself, there's a feeling of hope, a feeling of stress, a feeling of overwhelm, a feeling of gratitude, like all of these things. I think right now in this season, I am super emotional. And this is not going to be a dark episode. Y'all know sometimes I can go there, but I'm just jumping right in because there's just so much that I want to say, and I don't like to keep the episodes long. Um, yeah. So just really quick, if you're on YouTube, you get to see me glowing, feeling good. I retwisted my hair. If you're not on YouTube, come on over to YouTube, search Tasha Talks Life, and the Stop Sulkin podcast is there. But I retwisted my hair yesterday, and it took me like all day in between, like picking up my kids and doing other stuff. So now it's in a style that I haven't done. I've never done this style, but it's just to kind of give it like a protective look because after I retwist, I don't go under the dryer. So if I leave it like this, it'll kind of be able to settle in and stay locked, because like I go to the gym a lot. I just started back again. I had stopped going to the gym because my shoulder was acting up, and so I was going walking, but my body was craving the gym. Like the gym is literally therapy for me. And I also started a walking community, which is just me for right now, but I'm going to be consistent because I keep telling people about it, and they said they're going to come. So, and I think it's important for people to walk and to get, their heart health and all of that. So it's been put on me to open the community up to my church. And so I'm going to keep showing up. I even changed the time for them because 6:30 was too early. So now I changed it to 8. But walking just wasn't enough. I needed to get back in the gym. I needed to get back doing the things that my body loves. So when I do my hair and I'm working out and it's summertime, I can do it and it'll look like in 2 weeks that I never did it. So I'm going to keep this protective style for a little bit. I have an event on Saturday. I have an event that I'm going to Sag Harbor in New York, and it's called the Black Authors Festival, and I was nominated as Business Professional Community Leader for the Community Leader Award. I did not win, but as a nominee, you still get to attend and all the perks and everything. So I'm excited for that. Still don't know what I'm wearing, but I have a couple of ideas. So I might take my hair down for that. And then Sunday, we are doing at my church a women's ministry relaunch celebrating my mother, the first lady's birthday. So that is exciting. And we're talking about blooming in the garden. And so I'm doing a talk on that. So this weekend is going to be jam packed with a lot of things. I had to do my hair and it took me all day yesterday, and now I just have it up. But let's talk briefly about what is happening in politics. And let me preface that by saying that I am not nearly as knowledgeable as I should be about politics. And I also I don't know if it's saying that I should be when it comes to like local elections, stuff like that. but I just feel like there's so much negativity, there's so much division. So I really only tap into like things that are super important or things that are happening. And I know that that's something that I need to work on. So that is an intention of mine. I said at the top of the year that I was going to be more intentional, to be more involved with the local elections, just finding out who the candidates are, the big debates, all of that stuff. But I will say that on Sunday, the 21st, Biden, he dropped out of the campaign and endorsed Kamala. And so in that, I was like, whoa, like that's huge, right? And then everybody else started to endorse her. And then this organization, Win with Black Women. I don't remember how I got the link, but they were sending out the link to everybody, and I was sending it out to people. And I got on this. I tried to get on the call. I think the call started at 6:30. I wanted maybe 8, and I couldn't get in. And then someone sent it again around 9:45, 10 o'clock, and I finally got in. It ended up being 44,000 women on this Zoom call, and I was one of them. It was so much powerful women, and there was so many powerful women. It was so much vibrant energy just being in there. I mean, there was Jennifer Lewis, I gotta look it up. Reclaiming My Time. Oh my God, what is her name? Waters, Maxine Waters. I didn't even get to search it. Maxine Waters was on a bunch of other politicians. I mean, senators. This was people from Texas, from New York, from Atlanta. I mean, everywhere. 44,000 Black women got on this call, and we raised $1.2 million for Kamala Harris's campaign. And to take it a step further, then the Black men did it. Then the white women did it. And each person or each group of people raised more and more and more and had more and more attendees. Then the white men did it. Then I think the gays did it. It was like, first of all, y'all know we are trendsetters. Y'all know that when we say we're gonna do something, we do, we put our mind to it. But just to be a part of history, to just be a part of the movement, to be a part of the call, and to know that everybody is on the same page and know it's not all figured out. And yeah, we still have a fight ahead of us. And both parties have, I mean, people would say I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. And I think for me, when I first was old enough to vote, I was a Democrat because my family was a Democrat. I was a Democrat because, but I think being independent is for me the best, because I just want to do what's best for the people, for as a whole, right? So anyway, I'm excited for it. She raised over, I want to say it might have been 80 million. No, 8 million in 24 hours. Please don't quote me. But then since then she has superseded that amount. So I'm just proud to be a Black woman today. I'm proud to be a part of this historic moment. That we still have work ahead of us. But I just had to say that because I wanted to be documented that this happened. It's just, I don't know. So we'll see. Everybody, if you have not registered to vote, register. If you have young adults in your family, make sure that they're registered. It is very important. And I know a lot of people would say that the presidential election is not, is basically decided on by the Electoral College. But I genuinely believe, and I don't know if this is just because of my faith and my spirituality and my relationship with God, I believe that God is just not going to let 20 Project 2025 come into fruition. I just believe it's not time. I know we are in our last and evil days, but I just believe that that is just not what our eyes will see in this time. So I'm just going to keep staying prayed up, resting on that I am in this world, but not of this world, and just praying for Kamala's mental health, praying for anybody else that is in surroundings to her and dealing with her, because this politics is ugly. And so, yeah. So anyway, so today's topic is talking about, and it kind of gears a little bit towards that, but it's basically, can forced positivity be harmful? And this topic, I think, is important. It's so easy to be negative. It's so easy to talk negative over your life, your circumstance, and all of that. But I do think that sometimes forced positivity or or being over positive is delusional, and unrealistic. So I have my notes here. So the quote for today is, even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness, by Carl G. Jung. So in order for you to truly be positive, or even know what positivity is you have to experience negativity, right? In order for you to be happy, you have to have experience being sad. And so always pretending like everything is okay and all things are good and all is not realistic. And it just, why? Yes, look for the lesson. Yes, think about the processes and all of that. But why are we pretending, or why are we forcing positivity on situations where we actually need to identify and address the issues, right? So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of forced positivity. I'm also going to give you some strategies and tips, as well as some examples of why it's important to process your negative emotions. Okay, so let's get into it. Example number one of forced positivity: the strong Black woman stereotype, right? You a strong Black woman. I don't want to be strong today. I don't want to be strong today. So don't tell me I'm strong when I'm feeling like I need to lay on the couch and cry and just unplug, right? The second one would be dismissal of valid emotions. So if somebody is expressing their valid emotions, forced positivity is dismissing those and saying like things like, "Oh, it's not that bad, you know, you'll be all right. You can get through it." Yeah, that's true, right? But my feelings and how hurt I am is also true. So that's another example. Overemphasis on gratitude. Now this one can be very, very tricky, right? Because when I think about gratitude, I'm always expressing gratitude for everything. No matter what situation I'm in, I'm just grateful because it could be worse and all of that. But the overemphasis on gratitude is like, just truly, no matter what, it could be something detrimental or something extremely hard, and you're telling someone to just be grateful instead of validating their feelings and really understanding that this is a hard moment. Let me have empathy. Let me, embrace them, as opposed to just be grateful because it could be so much worse. So there's a fine line between that, but it's definitely a thing. Overemphasis of gratitude, overemphasis on gratitude, and then positive affirmations without support or tangible resources. Right. So you're speaking positive. I am successful. I am wealthy. I am happy. I am healthy, fit, and fine. But yet you're not doing any action steps. You're just speaking without any action, without any tangible resources or tangible outcome, right? So those are examples of forced positivity. And I just feel like it's important, especially with the younger people, to validate their feelings, empathize with them. Like, for example, saying things like, if they say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I failed my test, the world is over," instead of saying, It's okay. You don't have more tests, or it's just one test or whatever. Yeah, that sucks. You failed. You worked so hard on it, and you didn't get the grade that you desired. Just acknowledging them and empathizing with them, and then you could possibly come in with some solutions, some tips, or whatever like that. So a couple of reasons why it's important to process your negative emotions, instead of suppressing them, instead of forced positivity, is because one, it's authentic. Nobody on the face of the planet is on every day of the day of the day of the day, right? Nobody is happy 24/7. So to not acknowledge the negative emotions, it's inauthentic, right? Secondly, your mental health. The more you suppress your negative emotions is how you create stress, anxiety, depression. So it's important to acknowledge those things, because it's for your mental health, your mental peace. Um, Another reason why is emotional resilience. One of my core values is resilience, right? I don't really like to use the word strong because of the stereotype, but resilience meaning that, yeah, some things may knock me down, but I'm always going to get up. Something may knock me down. I may get knocked down 8 times. I'm getting up 9, right? So emotional resilience means it's going to help you to be able to face the next challenge and the next challenge, because you overcame this one. You acknowledge the emotions, and now you're preparing yourself, because life, like the quote says, you cannot have happiness without experiencing sadness. It's important to address your negative emotions, because it improves relationships. If you're able to articulate to somebody how you feel, or how they made you feel, and or whatever that is, it's going to improve the relationship, guaranteed. Burnout prevention, right? If you're pretending to always be on, to always have it together, and to always be like the cheerleader, super pumped up, you will be burnt out. You will be burnt out. You will be exhausted, because you cannot maintain that. That is not sustainable. So pretending to have it all figured out is not the way to go. It's going to create burnout. Healthy coping mechanisms, right? It's important to address your negative emotions, because it provides healthy coping mechanisms, right? It's basically addressing the root cause of your feelings. So it's helping you to identify truly, if somebody, say for example, you're out in public and somebody yells at you, and you get really upset and really irate or whatever, it's really not so much about the person yelling, because if you didn't care or didn't know the person, you like, it's something else under there. So helping you to get to what is that underneath. Why am I feeling like this? Why is this triggering me, or whatever? And then the final reason you need to identify and acknowledge your negative emotions is for informed decision making. Knowing that when I feel like this, I need to do this. When I'm feeling triggered, I need to know that I need to walk away and do some of the tips that I'm going to give you, or I need to walk away before I do something that I regret, or I need to go and scream in a pillow, or I need to write down exactly what I want to say before I confront the person, so that I can articulate myself and they can receive it. Right? So before I continue with the tips that can help you, what is your take on forced positivity? What do you think? Are there some other reasons why we should address our negative emotions? Is there some other examples of forced positivity that you can think of? Let me know in the comment section. I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Okay. So now we're going to get into some helpful tips. So helpful tips, number 1, taking time to react and or checking in with your emotions. So for me, okay, so the other day, my son and I were at this place, and we were registering for him to take a test, a training and then a test. And the guy that was doing his intake, I felt like he was being helpful, like wanted to like help, but his attitude and his snippiness and all of that was just unnecessary. And inside, I was cussing him out. But I also knew that that's not going to help because I'm matching his energy. Secondly, I'm taking a moment to reflect with myself, checking in with myself. And I also know that I need him right now. So if his negative attitude is snippy and witty, and I say, what's up with you? Like, why are you giving us an attitude? We're not even here for that. Like, or why are you talking to us like that? You don't even know us or whatever. I just was like, calm. Okay, sir, you need to refresh your browser because I sent it, and I just was like telling my son, I can see he was getting a little irritated, and I kindly touched him and was just like, it's not even worth it. We're going to be here for literally 15 to 20 minutes and then we're going about our business. To ream him and then him jeopardizing you getting into the class is not worth it. So yeah, so check it in with yourself. Another tip is breath work and meditation. So, and when you breathe in, you push your stomach out, right? And that was something I had to learn a couple of years ago. And it's you get a deeper breath, but that works. People don't understand that deep breaths really work. Or you can do fire breaths. Fire breaths are in and out of your nose with your eyes closed. Those help as well. And then meditating. And everybody has this misconception that meditation has to be 20 minutes, an hour. You can literally set a timer and meditate for 3 minutes. Just clear your mind, disconnect, don't even think about it, and just relax and relax. And the best way to begin meditating is guided meditation or doing like a complete body scan. Closing your eyes, going from the top of your head, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your neck, your shoulders, your breast, your arms, your elbows, your fingers, your hands, your hip, your belly. Just do a complete scan of your body. That's a good way to kind of disconnect and be centered and be present. Okay. Another tip is switching the narrative and turning it into a positive. So when you're having these negative emotions and you're feeling like you want to break something or whatever, switching that thought process to first thinking about what's the benefit of this, and then switching the thought process. Like, I don't need to do that. I have a lot to lose. What's at stake? Yeah. And then another one, this is always going to be on some sort of list of mine, journaling your thoughts and your feelings. Journaling is such an underrated tool when it comes to mental health and peace and anything. It's so powerful because it is a release of your thoughts through your body. So it's an act and a thought, right? So journaling. And then the final tip would be to seek professional support, a therapist, a psychologist, like whatever you need to make sure that you are mentally well and that your emotions are regulated. You're going to have negative emotions. That is a part of life, and that is okay. Knowing how to regulate those emotions, having the tools and the strategies to combat those negative emotions is what's important. And so I hope that these tips, these reasons, and these examples have helped you to really look at how you are conducting yourself throughout the day. I'm not a good clapbacker, but I'm glad that I'm not, because it gives me time to think about how I want to react, how I want to show up. Somebody can give you can react or act in a way that is so wrong and so whatever, but it's how you react that's important. And that takes work, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a clapback with my mouth, but in my past, I was a clapback, and that's not okay. As a grown adult, I do not condone that at any time to put your hands on somebody. But that was, for me, that was my form of you being disrespectful to me. because I don't have the words, I'm going to punch you in the face. And that is not the right thing to do. Promise you, I'm not saying that. But because of that, I had to go and get some adult, mature, emotionally intelligent tools to help me, okay? To help me. And they have. It helps me with dealing with my kids. And sometimes I lose my cool with them. But immediately I notice that I'm raising my voice. Immediately I notice that I'm getting frustrated and I'm able to breathe, or I'm able to take time to process the reaction before I do. Like if I'm like, I called this boy 5 times and he still ain't come, I can go and just yank him up. But then it's like, okay, how else can I relate to him and make him understand? Now I put it on him, right? So yeah, so I hope that was helpful. Now I want to go into what would I tell my younger self. And I would tell my younger self to keep it real with yourself first. If you need to speak up and say something, then do it. And if you need to take some of these tips and start to implement them, because you are your biggest advocate first. Your mom, your dad, your family, your teachers, they may be an advocate for you, but you are your first advocate. So you must do the work, and you must be able to regulate your emotions and speak um, up for yourself in a respectful way to get your point across. I am so excited for what's coming up. I've been studying and researching social emotional learning for adolescents and teen girls specifically, but it pretty much applies to boys as well. And in doing the research, I'm understanding so much more about how to navigate with these young people, how to address them, how to support them. And I absolutely love it. Like, I love it. I love the work that I'm doing. So I have a program called Elevate with Care, which is a 12-week coaching curriculum and mentorship. And the goal of this program is to redefine the bad girl narrative in Black and brown girls, bossy, aggressive, delinquent narrative, and helping them to shape their own future with the confidence, the authenticity, the resilience, and the excellence, so that they can be future leaders, because that's what we are. We're natural leaders. We are natural nurturers. And so helping them to be able to regulate their emotions, being able to be socially aware, being able to tap into their femininity, listen to their intuition, decision making, relationship building with their parents, with their other adults, with their peers, is so important. And it's something that's been on me for a while as an educator for over 14 years, but I just am now working on this curriculum and pitching it to schools. So it's just, and if you're a mom with a teenage girls, or preteen girls, please connect with me, because I am also hosting different events in my community. We did it for a self-love and tacos event where the girls came in. We talked about self-love. We talked about journaling. We talked about mindset declarations and scenarios and role playing. And then they were able to make their own tacos. I want to do an event coming up in September where it is dreams and goals for the school year, dreams and goals back to school, and they're able to talk about their goals and dreams for the year. And then we'll talk about journaling, we'll talk about the different strategies. They'll be able to put a smart goal in place and move accordingly with that. It's been on me. It's my hard work. I love working with the young girls, because if I had these same community events or resources as a young girl going through all of those things, as far as like attendance issues, frequent write-ups, mean girl syndrome, like all of that, I think that I would have developed a lot better sooner, right? So it's very important to me. Is my hard work. I'm excited for it. Just connect with me. Things are coming out. Go on my social media, Elevate with Care. Follow that. That's where a lot of the information will be. I'm also on LinkedIn, Tasha Owens. And yeah, so let's end with the mindset declaration. I am in touch with my feelings and nurture those that elevate my well-being. So feelings are important, whether they're good or bad. You just want to hold on to the good and acknowledge the bad and grow. No matter what, you're going to keep growing. So I hope this episode has helped you. Please, if it was good, share it with at least one friend, like it, subscribe on YouTube so that you can get notified when our episodes drop every Tuesday. If you are listening on another platform, leave a 5-star review. It will be greatly appreciated. Leave me a comment. What is your takeaway? What is your biggest takeaway from this episode? Do you believe what I'm saying about forced positivity, or is it BS? Like, what do you think? This is only my thoughts, my feelings, not necessarily any law or whatever, but there is some data behind it. But whatever you think, I am open to hearing about it. Please let me know. I want you to be well, have the most amazing week, and remember that your past does not dictate your better future. Till next episode.